and welcome to our next class. In today's class, we are going to discuss some of the most important questions that you can expect for the next examination. So in Standard 8, the name of the first unit is Hues and Views. Unit 1, Hues and Views. In this unit, we have 4 lessons. The first one is the mysterious picture. Second one, the boy who drew cats. Then we have a poem called Taj Mahal. And of course we have a song called We Are the World. In the first unit, we have the story, The Mysterious Picture, which is a prose. Second one is also a prose. The Boy Who Drew Cats, and this one is a poem, and We Are the World is a song. We have studied the first lesson, The Mysterious Picture, which tells the story of Tile, a painter who comes to the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg and who spent his time lavishly there in the palace. And he made a large sum of money and escaped from the palace. Then we have studied The Boy Who Drew Cats, which is a Japanese story about a boy who loves to draw cats and how he reached in a deserted temple and how he killed a goblin rat. We have studied that story also. The third one, Taj Mahal, is a very famous poem written by Rabindranath Tagore talking about the transience of earthly things. This poem also talks about the permanence of art, and in this poem we can see how the tears of the Emperor Shah Jahan is made immortal by this monument called the Taj Mahal. And the last one is a song by Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson talking about the need to come together as one and how we should help other people. The song talks about the need to love and care other people in the world. Now these are the 4 important lessons we have in the first unit. Now we'll see which are the most important questions that we can expect from these lessons. Okay, so the first type of question that you can expect from this lesson is analyzing textual passages. Analyzing textual passages. It is a 5-mark question. And what do we understand by this type of question, analyzing textual passages? In this type of question, you will be given a paragraph, and based on this paragraph, there will be some questions. 5 questions or sometimes 4 questions. Each question carries 1 mark each. So total of 5 marks you can expect from this type of questions. And analyzing a textual passage. One passage from the story will be given to you, and based on this passage there will be some questions and you have to write answers to these questions. And before writing this type of questions, you should bear in mind a few things which will help you to do this type of questions very well. Now, what are the tips that you have to be careful when you are writing answer to this type of questions? The first thing, remember, the first thing you have to do is read the questions clearly. This is very important. Read the questions clearly. So you have 5 questions given here, and you have to read these questions clearly and understand what these questions are. Because many students, they don't read the questions completely, and so they sometimes write wrong answers. So you should read the questions clearly and understand what it is. That is the first thing that you have to do. Then second thing is to read the given paragraph. The given paragraph. Read the given paragraph 2-3 times. This is the second step that you have to do. So first you read the questions and then understand the question correctly. Understand the questions correctly and then read the paragraph. When you are reading the paragraph, keep in mind the questions. If there are 5 questions, remember those 5 questions when you are reading the given paragraph. And you can make use of a pencil. If you have a pencil, when you read, when you are reading the paragraph, if you think, here, this one may be the answer for one of the questions, you can underline those parts. Underline those parts which you think can be the answers to any of these questions. And the next step, 3, is very important. Write the answers. Write the answers in your own words. That's very important, your own words. Here, one of the problems with the students who attempt this type of questions is that they want to write few sentences from the paragraph, but they never try to make it their own answers. For this type of questions, imagine this is the paragraph given to you, and it is not about writing from here to here or from here to here. This way will not work because the answer may be there in one sentence here and one sentence here and somewhere here. The answer may be scattered anywhere in this paragraph. So you have to connect all the different points and write the answers in your own words. You are not just copying from one sentence to other sentence. That is not the way to do it. This is called analyzing textual passage. Here, the question is testing whether you have comprehended, understood this paragraph clearly. That is what is being tested here. So, you have to write the answer in your own words. Somewhere in the paragraph. Sometimes the answer may be there anywhere in the paragraph. So read the question carefully and write in simple words, your own words. That is the way to do it. So remember, I will repeat all these things once again for you. Remember these 3 things when you are writing answer to the first question. Analyzing textual passage. What is the first thing to do? Read all the questions 2-3 times. Understand the question correctly. And the second step is keep the questions in your mind and read the paragraph 1 or 2 times. When you feel that the answer can be this sentence in the paragraph, you can just underline it using your pencil. Then the last step, you are writing answer to the given question. When after writing the answer, you just read your answer and question and see if the answer is correct for that question. So keep in mind these three things, and this is for writing in your own words, not just picking some sentences from the paragraph. It is for you to understand the paragraph and write the answers in your own words. Let us do some examples so that you will understand it better. Okay, now let's do this question. First question, where did Tile reach? So in the paragraph, if you go to the paragraph, you can see Tile in the course of his wandering from court to court, he reached at the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg. Such a long description is given there. But you needn't write all these things. You are just writing answer to this question. So how can you write answer to this question? Where did Tile reach? You can write the answer like this. Tile reached at the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg. Archduke of Battenberg. Battenberg is a single word and it's the name of the place. So B is capital letter and A is also capital letter. So this is the answer. Don't copy the same sentence from the paragraph. Just write what is asked. Where did Tile reach? And the answer is Tile reached at the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg. Now you just check the questions and answers. Where did Tile reach? Tile reached at the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg. Where did Tile reach? Tile reached at the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg. Nothing more is here, just the answer to that question. And that is in your own words. That's very important. Then now let's do the second one. What was Tile's mode of conveyance? So here, mode of conveyance. In which way he reached there? What was the mode of his transport? How he reached there? Whether it was on horse, in a car, or by aeroplane, whatever it is. So, if you do not know the meaning of this word, you can write answer to this question. You will not find this word conveyance in the paragraph. So, some students will search for this word and write that sentence. That is the usual way they do for this type of questions. And don't do like that. Here, the mode of conveyance, how he reached, on what vehicle or on what he reached there. That is the question. So very simply, you can write the answer. He, like this, in your own words you can write, Tile rode, past tense of ride, rode on his donkey. Tile rode on his donkey is the answer. So this was the mode of conveyance. Or you can write his mode of conveyance was using his donkey. So what is important is you are writing the answer, only the answers, and also in your own words. So now we'll move to the next question, question number 3. What was the appearance of Tile? Since this is a paragraph from the story, so many things are said about Tile, but you should not write all those things as it is. This is not an activity for copying something from the paragraph and rewriting it. No. This one, third question is, what was the appearance of Tile? He was, remember, recollect the things, the answers from the paragraph. He was riding on his donkey. He was wearing a cap with 3 feathers in it. So you can write that into a sentence. Yeah? He rode on his donkey. He rode on his donkey. He was wearing a cap with 3 feathers in it. 3 feathers in it. So that's the answer. We are not copying something from the paragraph. In the paragraph it is given like he sat there on the donkey, and when he was moving, the feathers on his cap danced in the breeze. All these things you needn't write. Just writing answer to that question only. What was the appearance of tie? Now we will move on to the question number 4. What was special about Tyle's cap? So for writing this question, what was special about Tyle's cap? You needn't write everything given in the paragraph. We know that what is special about Tyle's cap. So you write that his cap was placed gently on his head, and three feathers were there on the cap, and the feathers danced in the breeze. Okay, now the next question number 5. Who stopped Tile at the gate? So here the question word is who. So some students will write the captain of the guard stopped Tile at the entrance of the palace and asked him. You should not write all these details. You are just writing answer to this question. Who? So the name of the person is enough here. The captain of the guards. So the answer to the 5th question is just the captain of the guards. If you want to write more, you can write like the captain of the guards stopped Tile at the gate. That's okay. So this is how you attempt the first type of questions. Okay, let us do one more example from the same lesson, the mysterious picture. This is the paragraph. The captain knew that Flemish painters so-and-so and up to the empty velvet chair waiting to be filled. So for convenience, I wrote only the beginning and the ending of the paragraph. Look at your textbook and see this paragraph. And here, based on this paragraph, we have 5 questions given here. First question, whose paintings were of great demand? Second question, before whom did the captain present Tile? Third question, what picture did Tile present to the Archduke? Fourth question, what did Tile expect from the Archduke? And the last one is, what had happened to the court painter? When you are answering this question, just go through all the steps I have already told you. First you read all these 5 questions, and then keeping these questions in your mind, you read this paragraph 1 or 2 times, and then you will get the exact answer to this question. The answer may be from anywhere in the paragraph. You have to take all those answers and join them and make your own answer for these questions. Okay? So, whose paintings were of great demand? So the sentence given in the paragraph is the captain knew that the Flemish painters are of great importance, so and so. But that is not the answer. You have to change that information into an answer to the question. So whose paintings were of great demand? Whose? So the answer is the paintings of Flemish painters were of great demand. So now let's check the questions and answers. Whose paintings were of great demand? The paintings of Flemish painters were of great demand. So it is matching. Question and answer is matching. Now let's move on to the second question. Before whom did the captain present Tile? Before whom? So the answer is the captain presented tile to the Archduke of Battenberg. The Archduke of Battenberg. So we got the answer here. Just check the question and answer. Before whom did the captain present tile? The captain presented tile to the Archduke of Battenberg. Now let's move on to the third question. What picture did tile present to the Archduke? We know the answer. He presented the picture of Virgin Mary or Our Lady to the Archduke of Battenberg. So you can write the answer like this. Question number 3. He presented, or you can write, tile presented the picture of Virgin Mary or Our Lady to the Archduke. So this is our answer. What picture did tile present to the Archduke? Tile presented the picture of Virgin Mary or Our Lady to the Archduke. Now question number 4. What did tile expect from the Archduke? That question's answer, you cannot find a direct answer for this from the paragraph, because tile is a very humorous person and he uses some humorous expressions. He said that I can see the empty velvet chair waiting to be filled. But what is there in his mind? He wants to become the court painter. So you write that as answer to this question. What did tile expect from the Archduke? He expected Archduke. Question number 4. He wanted the Archduke to make him the court painter. The court painter. This sentence you cannot get directly from the paragraph. So you need to use some words and use the information, convert it to the answer for this question. So he wanted the Archduke to make him the court painter. Okay, now the last one. What had happened to the court painter? What is the answer? The court painter died recently. The court painter died recently. Now let's check if these two answers are correct. What did tile expect from the Archduke? He wanted Archduke to make him the court painter. What had happened to the court painter? The court painter had died recently, or the court painter died recently. You can add a had here also. The court painter had died recently. So this is the way you have to write the first question. Question type 1 for 5 marks. Analyzing textual passage. Remember this point. Sometimes there may be a question. Pick out a word from the paragraph that means this. In that case, you have to locate that particular word. For example, find out a word from the passage that is talking about painters from Flanders. And which is that word? Flemish. Flemish, from Flanders. So the question may be like, what is the nationality of a person from Flanders? So you can write the word Flemish. If there is a question like that to pick out, so that question will begin like this: pick out, pick out. a word from the paragraph that means this, then you have to just write that word. And that question begins with pick out. So just take that word and write that word alone. So understand all the questions is very important, and write the answers in your own words is very important. So remember all these points. This is one sure question for your examination, not only in 8th, in 9th, or 10th, in higher secondary, in all the classes. There is one question to read one paragraph and answer the questions based on that paragraph. Okay, now let's move on to second type of question, which is also very important. This type of questions are for writing a profile. How to write a profile? This question comes for in 8, 9, 10, plus 1, plus 2, all the classes you have a question for writing a profile. And this one usually carries 6 marks. These are very easy questions. Once you understand how to write answers to this question, it will be very easy for you to score these 6 marks. And what do we do in such a question? What should we do for writing answer to this question called profile writing? So what's a profile? Profile is a short paragraph about a famous person. It may be a famous writer, famous cricket player, famous singer, or can be anyone. So, in this question, you have some important details about a person. You have got the hints. These are only some hints. And you got all the information ready in your question paper. Where he was born, the place where he was born, the year he was born, and if there is place of birth where that person was born. The name of his father, sometimes this information will be there. Name of the father, then spouse, husband or wife, famous as, in which area he or she is famous, and his career, what is his career or her career, works, his or her important works. If he is a writer, if he is a poet or playwright, which are his important works. Then awards, which are the awards that that person has got, and how he is known as, in which area he is famous, whether he is a basketball player, a cricket player, a singer, a film star, or what is his field. That point comes under this hint known as, and achievements, what he made in his life, what are his achievements. So these are usually the points that will come for the examination. So what you have to do is, you should take all these points and write into a paragraph. That is your work. So you have to remember 2-3 things before you start writing a profile. The first thing is, you should write here the name of the person whose profile you are writing. Okay, number 1, name of the person in capital letters. Name in capital letters. I have seen many students writing profile here. There is no need to write profile as the heading here. You can write the name of the person whose profile you are writing. Imagine you are writing the profile of Rabindranath Tagore. You can write Rabindranath Tagore here. Okay? Then second important thing is to see if it is a man or a woman. Why is it important? Because if this is a man, you have to use he, the pronoun he, his important words, etc. And if if the person is a woman, then you have to use she, her, etc. So, if the person is a man, you have to use he, his, etc. And if that's a woman, you are writing the profile of a woman, then you have to write she, her, etc. Imagine you are writing the profile of Rabindranath Tagore. You know, this is such a long name, and you needn't write Rabindranath Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore for all the sentences. In the first sentence, you can write the name Rabindranath Tagore was born in the year. You can write. Then in the coming sentences, you can replace the name Rabindranath Tagore with he. If you are writing the profile of Anita Desai, then you have to write not he, then you have to write she. So this is very important. Second one, whether you should use he or she. Now, third important thing is that you should write some sentences, and all the sentences that you write should be correct. So, how to use this hint in a sentence? How to write this detail into a sentence? How to write this detail, words, into a sentence, that you have to study. And once you study how to write each and every hint into full sentences, then it's very easy to write the profile. You just have to include all the hints in the correct order and complete the profile. So that's very easy. Okay, now let's see how to write a profile. How to write those given hints into complete sentences without making any mistakes. So this is what you have to remember. And I'm going to give you all the hints and how to write those hints into full sentences without making any grammatical mistakes. So listen to me carefully. The first point is birth. So in this detail, you have the information about a person's birth, on which day he was born, or in which year he was born. And in this information, for example, 23rd April 1982 is the detailed birth given. So how will you write this into a full sentence? So if this is the first sentence, I told you, the first sentence you have to write the name of the person. And in all the other sentences, you can use the pronoun he or she. So here the information is birth, and it is given April 22, 1982. How will you write that information into a full sentence without making any mistakes? I have seen still some students are just copying the hints into their answer papers. That is not the way to write a profile. You have to use all the given hints and change that into full sentences and write that as a paragraph about a person. So let's see how to change this detail, how to write this detail into a full sentence. So you have to study this for writing this. He or she was born on date in year. If you study this sentence, then you got 1 mark, no doubt. Because here, he or she, why did I say he or she? Because we do not know whose profile we are getting. It may be of a man or maybe that of a woman. So if it is a man, you have to use he. If it is a woman, you have to use she. So he or she was born is very important, because many students make mistakes here. Instead of writing born, B-O-R-N, many students wrote B-R-O-N. There is no such a word in English. So make sure that your spelling is correct, B-O-R-N. And you have to use a passive form here, was born. Because if you write he born on 22nd April 1982, that sentence is wrong. So if the sentence should be correct, it should be was born. So learn this, was born. He or she was born on. Here you have a preposition on, here you have a preposition in. So there will be confusion. Which preposition to be used before date? Which preposition should come before the year? So you just to remember one thing. Before the year we use in. And before the month we use on. Okay, so the sentence will be like he was born on 22nd April in 1982. So I hope you understood the first point, birth. I will repeat it once again. For writing this point, you have to write a sentence, he or she. If it is a man, you write he. If it's a woman, you write she. So he was born or she was born. If the month is given, you have to use on. If only the year is given, you can write with just in. He was born in 1982. She was born in 1982. He was born on 22nd April 1982, which is my birthday. Okay? Then, second point. So this point is clear to you. Now we are moving to the second point, that is famous as. Sometimes this hint will be there in the question. Famous as. Playwright, poet, cricket player, film star. We don't know which detail will come there for famous as, because we do not know whose profile will be asked. So famous as, you can write that into a full sentence like this. He or she. This he or she is common to the whole profile. Okay, here he or she. You have to use he if it's a man, she if it is a woman. He or she is famous as dash. Here you have to write that hint of famous as. So it will be like he is famous as a cricket player. She is famous as a poet. He is famous as a basketball player. So anything can be here. So this is how you write the second one. So now the second one is clear to you. And the third one, sometimes this hint is asked. Schooling or education. Now what do we mean by schooling or education? About in which school this person studied or in which university this person studied. That detail is coming here in this hint, schooling or education. And how will you write that into a sentence? For that, you have to study this sentence. Just by heart the sentence. He or she had his or her education from dash. Here you write the hint. If it is Cambridge University, how will you write he? If it is a man, you will write he had his education from Cambridge University. If it is a woman, she had her education from Calicut University. So, according to the details given, you can write this detail also into a sentence. So you have studied the third one also. Now we'll move on to the next one, which is asked very rarely, spouse. What do we mean by spouse? Spouse is a word that can mean both husband or wife. If we are saying a woman's spouse is her husband and a man's spouse is his wife, so the name of the wife or name of the husband is the point. And you can simply write it by like this: his spouse is, then the name of his wife, or her spouse is, then write the name of her husband. So this is how you write this point. Now fifth one is very important, works. Which are the important works? So if he is a great writer, many works may be there. So 3 works are given there. Imagine that 3 works are given here. How will you write that into a sentence? If it is a man, you can write his important works are. Remember the structure of the sentence. His important works are dash, comma, dash, and dash. So where do we use the word and? Where do we use the word and? If we are making a list of things, we use and just before the last one. So here we have 3 works given. So we write first work, second work, and just before the last one, just before the third one, we use and. So his important works are. If it is a woman, her important works are. Now another thing that you can do is just underline the name of the works. So that will look good in the profile. You can just underline the name of the works also. The next important point is awards. Here also the sentence should be correct. Remember to write the sentence correctly. How will you write it? He or she was awarded. Was awarded. Very important. Was awarded. Was awarded. Don't write awarded. He awarded Padma Shri. If that means, if you are writing like that, it means that person is giving award to some other person. Actually, the award is given to that person. So, a passive form is very important. He or she was awarded. Was awarded. Here, name of the award. Then last one here, how to write the point depth. So here the year or the date on which the person died, that information is given. Here you have 2 options. You can write he died in and the year. That is one option. Second option, he passed away. Passed away. When you are writing it, make sure you write it correctly. Passed away. Passed away is a phrase that means died. If you write just pass away, that means passing the exam. But passed away means, it's a phrasal verb that means died. So you can write he died in 1914 or he passed away in 1914. So we have discussed all these points. I'll just make a quick recollection of all the sentence. Birth, he or she was born on date in year. Example, he was born on 22nd April in 1982. Second one, place of birth, that you can join with the first sentence. He was born on 22nd April 1982 at Calicut in Kerala. Here remember, we have two prepositions. One is at, other one is in. With the small place, we use at, and with the larger place, we use in. So, this is Kerala and this is Calicut. So, with Calicut, we use at, and with Kerala, we use the preposition in. With small place, we use at, with larger place, we use in. So, you can write the sentence like, he was born on 22nd April 1982 at Calicut in Kerala. So our first sentence is correct. Then famous as, you can write, he is famous as a cricket player, for example. Then third one, he had his education from Mysore University. He had or she had her education from Mysore University. The next one, his spouse is the name of the spouse. Then works. His important works are first work, second work and third work. Or his important works are name of the first work, comma, second work and last one. Underline the name of the works. Then awards, remember you have to write was awarded. He was awarded the Padma Shri Award in 1912. He was awarded Nobel Prize in 1914. So was awarded. And the last one, he died on March 12 in 1914. He passed away on March 12, 1914. Okay, now let's do a profile. Here we have the profile of Rabindranath Tagore. Let us read the details given here first. Write a profile of Rabindranath Tagore using the hints. So these are the hints we have. Let us read the hints. First one is name. Name is Rabindranath Tagore. Okay. Second information or second hint is birth. The date of his birth. That is May 7, 1861. Then place of birth, where he was born, in Calcutta, in India. Then we have the name of his wife or spouse. It is Mrinalini Devi. Then we have famous as, in which way he is famous. Here songwriter, poet, playwright, essayist and painter. So he was such a talented person who excels in many fields. He was a songwriter, a poet and playwright. Playwright is one who writes a play or drama, and essayist, one who writes essays, and a painter. Then his works, his three important works are given here, four of them. Most important one is, of course, Gitanjali. Then another work is Chokabali. Another work is Gora. And another one is Kabuliwala. Some of his important works. Then we have awards. Most importantly, Nobel Prize in 1913. And he died his death in 1941. So this is the question for writing the profile. Many students just copy it down in their answer papers. Will they get any marks for doing that? No. This is a question with all the hints and information, and you have to write that into full sentences and make a paragraph. There is your work. That is your work. Okay, you have everything needed for making tea. Okay, you have sugar and powder, water, everything with you, and you are going to make the tea. So just like this, you have all the hints here, and using these hints, you are writing a profile of a person. So I think it's clear to you. Now you have just learned how to write each and every hint into full sentences. Now, how will you write this? Let's begin with the first one. Name Rabindranath Tagore. So this you have to write as the name of the profile in capital letters. So first the heading is Rabindranath Tagore in capital letters. Then you have the first sentence. There also you use the name Rabindranath Tagore. So Rabindranath Tagore was born on May 7 in 1861 at Calcutta in India. Okay, the first sentence you are combining these three informations into one sentence, and it is Rabindranath Tagore was born on May 7, 1861 at Calcutta in India. Then second point, his spouse is Mrinalini Devi. Then he is famous as songwriter, poet, playwright, essayist and painter. Then his, not her, his important works are Gitanjali, Chokarbali, Gora and Kabuliwala. Then he was awarded Nobel Prize in 1913. He died in 1941, or he passed away in 1941. Now let us write the profile. Okay, let's start writing the profile of Rabindranath Tagore. I will write it here. Okay, I told you the first thing is to write the name of the person. So here we go. All in capital letters. Okay. Now the first point is birth, place of birth, etc. So first sentence you write the name as usual. Rabindranath Tagore was born on M capital for me, May 7 in 1861 at Calcutta in India. Our first sentence is ready. Now second detail is spouse. So we'll write like this. Mrinalini Devi is his spouse. Then he is famous as a songwriter, poet, playwright, essayist, and just before the last one, you have to add and painter. So that sentence is over. Now coming to this point, words. Full stop. Next sentence, first letter, capital letter. His important works are We have 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Geetanjali, comma, Chokabali, comma, Gora, and Kabuliwala. And I told you to underline the name of the words. Okay? Gitanjali, Chokabali, Gora, and Kabuliwala. Then coming to the next one, awards. Full stop. Next sentence, starting with the capital letter. He was awarded Nobel Prize in 1913. Okay, then he died or passed away in 1914. And you can close the box and our profile is ready. This is for full marks, the profile of Rabindranath Tagore. So in the next class I will teach you more this type of questions that will come for your examination. So stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel, because your support is our inspiration for doing more classes for you. So thanks for watching.